Stand back, laughs, enjoys being here. Booyah. Booyah.
Hello world and welcome to my channel. I'm EVEREST VR, but you can call me Galen. We are here for podcast episode
5.
We'll let you guys
Episode 5, I
know.
think.
It's episode, it would be episode 5. No, he figured it out. Banjo figured it out. Episode 5. Today we are here to not necessarily watch a video, so my apologies if that's what you guys were hoping for. We are here to talk about the upcoming Valve VR headset known as the Deckard. So the Deckard was kind of pronounced as almost like this almost mythological headset. There was leaks, but not 100% confirmations. It was like, is this thing really in production or isn't it not? However, Stan Lorek, the CEO for the VR headset Linux R1, and he himself saw the actual Deckard VR headset. They are in production, and it's very possible that they release as early as November. We have so much news regarding it now that not only is it proven to be real, but this headset, a PC VR headset by itself. So imagine your Meta Quest, but you can play all Steam VR games without a PC. Is a heck ton of evidence you can treat it like a Steam Deck 2. In other words, not just VR games. If you have flat screen games, you can just throw your headset on, open up a massive screen, and play your normal flat screen games. You want to play whatever flat screen game you got, you can play it.
I mean, you could technically do that with Steam and Virtual Desktop too.
You can, but is you're hooked up to a PC. You don't have to be hooked up to a PC anymore. It is by itself.
Is that the one you was telling me about that had Code Roy in it?
Yes,
The
that
controller?
will. Yeah,
Yep,
those controllers
I love it.
are specifically meant. Which is funny because for those of you guys that do not know, the Deckard is actually named after one of the characters from the Blade Runner movie. Never watched it myself. So are the Roy controllers, a name after one of the characters from the Blade Runner movie, which is kind of amusing.
Wait, I got a question.
Sure, what's the question?
Can you put Record on it?
I think so. So, you gotta take into account that it runs on something called Arch Linux. It doesn't run on Windows. You might have to do some workarounds, but I do believe that, yes, you can play Rec Room on it. And this is the cool part, guys. This is the part that you all are gonna love. If you guys have that headset on standalone, theoretically can pull out the stream cam. Arch
So
Linux.
the only thing I'm worried about for like games that have like recording is if I use the streamer cam, if I'm recording, will the recording stay on my screen or will it go to the streamer cam screen?
So, J.I.,
Yeah.
to answer your question, the Deckard is a standalone PC. So, yes, you should be able to stream correctly. And in case you do not know,
Yeah.
that means it has its own desktop background. That
I'm
means
assuming
that
it's gonna
it
cost like
will...
$1,000.
Do you guys want to know the price tag for this incredible headset?
$10,000.
And J.I., do you still want to stick with your $10,000? Your $10,000?
Yes.
Okay, so actually, the one who wins here is Banjo. It's going to cost $1,200. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive than the normal
I was
index.
close.
You were close, like by $10,000.
I said 1,000. I said 1,000, Fizz.
Yeah, but he said 1,000 between 2,000, so he gets it.
You know
But
what? Not bad.
but it makes sense why it costs so much money because you got to take into account. I feel like the world's smallest PC. Because you got to take into account, not only that, you're going to be able to play all your Steam games.
Because you gotta take into account.
It has inside-out tracking.
Because you gotta take into account.
You can connect it to your PC if, let's say,
Because you gotta take into account.
it's not running the highest frame rate possible. Because you got to take into account, you can still connect it to your PC, get higher frame rate, better graphics. And it comes with all these plugins and modifications and all that. It looks like this headset could kill the industry. As in, goodbye Meta. Either is that situation where either Meta has to adapt and maybe fix some of their policies, or they're gonna die. Because what are you gonna want to play? Android games or full-on PC games?
I like this idea. I love it. I'm going to pay for it, but $12,000 to the consumer, like
1,200.
the Quest 3,
100.
1,200. The Quest 3 is 500 or 800, 500. I think it's 500, right?
Mhm.
But
Yes.
still, that's competitive.
That's fair, but think about it. Most people that get a Quest 3 or 3S, they're only getting it to test out VR. The moment they get the money, they're leaving. That's what most people say. The only
But
reason
still,
they get a Quest
yeah.
headset is to test the waters. And the moment they get a chance to get a better headset, they always go for a better headset. Because they don't
yeah,
like...
obviously, but
To clarify, do you guys hear the bad news about version 77 of the Quest? Version 77 will now spy in your bedroom. They will record everything and send it back to home and send it back to their home office, and then they will sell your data.
I think they need to make maybe a lower, underpowered version to compete with the Quest 3.
Being so now, let's clarify one thing. 1,200 is the price that was leaked. What it means is there is still now until it releases to see its official price. All these things that we're saying can change. So that doesn't mean it's going to be 1,200. My theory is that it'll drop down to 1,000. If you think about it, the Index only costed $1,000. To buy everything with it was a little bit more expensive, like the remotes and everything else was a little pricey. But the Index alone, actually no, the Index alone was like $800, I think. But then you had to buy the lighthouses stations and then the controller, so it kind of added up. But they were selling that at a loss to them because their hope is if you buy it, you'll be playing Steam games. You buy Steam games, they make more money. The Steam Deck, same thing. They sold it at a loss. Technically, that thing is worth probably 1,000 something, but they're selling it to you. The cheapest version, I think, is $500. But they sell it that cheap because you're going to be buying Steam games, so they still make the money at the end of the day. So it's very possible by the time they release the Deckard, I'm pretty sure at most it's going to cost 1,000. That's my theory. Just because I've never seen them sell anything more than $1,000, which is again kind of strange. Now if they're crazy and they really want to mess with meta, they'll sell it for 800. Now I think that price tag is a little too low. I think it'll hurt them financially. But at the end of the day, you also got to take into account a lot of people, even if they don't have the money right now, would be willing to save up and get one of these headsets just because a lot of people are against Meta's violations in terms of human privacy. So yeah, it might suck that they have to wait an additional year because I know some of these people, a lot of people, especially if you don't have a very good high-paying job or you're just having an allowance. I understand it'll take you maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years to save up for it. Trust me, I was that kid. I did that. But at the end of the day, it's nicer to have control of your own destiny over Meta taking advantage of you and your family. That's the way I see it. Now, that being said, I'm not trying to like disrespect people that want a Meta headset. I think a Meta headset is great for the first time you getting into VR for the first time. It's cheap. It lets you shows you what VR is capable of. Makes you see that whether are you super motion sick, are you not super motion sick? Is it okay to experience? Does VR suit you? And for $300, that ain't bad. It works. Then you can decide what do I want to upgrade to in the future. So to clarify that, I know a lot of people are like, well, what can I upgrade to? There's like 5 new VR headsets coming in the near future. There's a Deckard, there's the Linux, there's the Apple headset if you have $3,000, and then there's like a Lenovo and a whole bunch of Samsung headsets. We're getting so many VR headsets, man. It's insane, which is a good thing. Competition's always a good thing because then you can always buy the headset that appeals to your morals.
You stupid meta player.
I really do think in order to like solidify that Steam is going to succeed and crush meta, I really do think they need multiple versions of the headset. I'm being honest to you.
I like your thoughts, and maybe, and at first I was going to tell you, no, they'll never do that because you got to take into account it takes a lot of processing power to run Steam games. But I see now that I'm wrong because the Steam Deck has 3 different versions. One version that has a certain processor. It's not the best, but it works. And then there's like this, and that's like the $500, maybe $300 one. And then the $700 one is the highest tier with like special solid state drives and special CPUs. I don't even remember the stats anymore. And if you have the money, obviously you want to go with the higher tier because it runs games beautifully. But if you can't, you can always buy the $300, $500 one, and hey, it's what you can afford then. So why not?
Another question.
Sure.
What are controllers gonna look like?
Okay,
the plus-
the controllers we know that has already been released. They look exactly like your MetaQuest controllers, except the left remote has one of those arrow pad keys like your PlayStation controller or Xbox controller.
It's also called Roy.
Interesting.
They're called Roy's.
Both
yes.
called Roy. Both of them are called Roy's.
Interesting.
A tale of
Yeah.
two Roys. It's a
Tale
Roy
of two
story.
Roys. Nice one, nice one. Only those that really know will know. Thank you so much. Mr. Bob appreciates it too. Regardless, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked that, let us know. Did I say that right? If you liked the video, let us know. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We don't really want to cancel podcast, but we notice that the views are strange. The cast that we usually have is a little off these days. So we might have to come up with a new model. Let us know what you would like to see. But regardless, I will see you all in the rec room. Booyah!
Booyah!
California.
Stand back.